have that on the ready.
I always like to start with the mask on, but then it fogs up my glasses really bad. It's all right. Worth it. Worth it. 100%. Thank you guys for joining us. Similar to last weekend, different events, obviously, but really good sports weekend coming up. So appreciate you guys tuning in with us, all the sports junkies out there. Another great couch weekend. We got Champions League on a weekend. We have 2 NASCAR Cup races. My boy Derek Lewis is back in the main event. Baseball, obviously, basketball, hockey, wall to wall. I mean, and a major, a golf major.
Yeah, we got a golf major. Yeah,
for the first time in over a year. So this is good times. Good times. Hopefully everyone is doing well and being safe and responsible out there. Tyler, how you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm just looking forward to another weekend where if it ain't about sports, don't bother calling or texting me, because that's all my weekend is going to be. It's just sitting back watching sports from sun up to sundown. So, Ronnie, how's your day going today?
A little hectic, long day at the bank as other banks continue to shut down and our bank remains open. Just that one ragged pirate ship just still going along. Like, we're still here. And now we have all your extra customers coming in. So a little rough. I apologize. We're a couple minutes late on the start because I was trying to throw things together as soon as I could get home and put this together. But now that we have, facing, I do have to work tomorrow, obviously, but Saturday's kind of whatever. Staring down the barrel of a great sports weekend put me in a lot better mood. So yeah. I am excited for that. And actually, always a good time to bring up, this is kind of the dream setup now that it looks more legitimate. Before it was like kind of, it's cool, but also you're like a weird hoarder as far as the Baron's man cave. But this is where you would want to be this weekend. Just boom, wall to wall. Watch whatever you want all day. Yep. Pick and choose. You don't have to suffer through any commercials, although I am a fan of the DJ Khaled commercial as Tough Crown I. Another one. Don't give up, Devin. So I have been enjoying that. But yes, it's going to be a great weekend for sports. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it this weekend. And I see our producer tonight. She's already put in the work there with a couple comments. Definitely, guys, give us a call.
Calling you out.
Friday. Look, we love your comments, but you want to call in, talk some shit, go ahead and give us a call. There's the link right there. No subscription, no nothing necessary.
That one is nice too because it has the lowercase. As you know, I am fond of the NBA Jam style font, which
True.
I'm still going to be using. Don't get me wrong, but
sure.
There are no ones in the StreamYard universe, only I's. So anytime you see that, that's an I.
There we go. And not a lowercase L.
Let's just no lowercase anything. Never that. All right. Well, let's get right into it.
Yeah.
I think first things first. Let's address the golf because it is a major. It's a big deal. It's nice to see. I mean, PGA Championship is kind of like the lesser of the 4 majors. I did see an interesting thing on social media kind of going around a couple days ago that the course they're playing is actually a public course, but
right.
Most of the time and scheduled into the future they're private courses or country clubs or whatever. And someone posed the idea that maybe the PGA Championship should be on a public course. Or like municipal course, just interesting ones. I mean, they're everywhere. There's a lot of very challenging public courses, but this happens to be on one, and that would be basically kind of like their gimmick, like what makes them different. You have British Open. It's always a weird links course. The weather's crazy. U.S. Open, they make the course ridiculously hard, like absurdly hard, which I can't wait for next year at Torrey Pines. Hopefully I can figure out a way to sneak in there or whatever. But and then the Masters is obviously Augusta. They have the greens, everything that goes along with that. But the PGA Championship is always kind of like that. Well, there's a 4th one. But
we got to have 4, so.
Yeah, well, we had to have 4, It was this or the John Deere Classic, so we did the PGA. But I think a lot of, even just, beyond golf fans, I know with this whole shutdown and everything, it's made me more of a golf fan as far as my viewership on TV. And it's nice to see a major again. I have here, let's see, grabbed it earlier. This is the current leaderboard. So we got some names there. Koepka still in the hunt, as always, as he traditionally does show up to these majors. Our guy DeChambeau, not there in the top 11. And a lot of ties. It's Friday. But we'll see who does and doesn't make the cut. But, yeah, I mean, it's been entertaining. And, I mean, for me, the Koepka-DeChambeau feud is always the most entertaining part. And
For sure.
we were talking about this before the show started. I don't even know if I like Bryson DeChambeau. I still, I'm on the fence. I haven't decided, but I will say this. You can't look away. Whatever happens with this guy, it's always weird. He's either yelling at a cameraman or a rules official or just hitting like a 400-yard drive that's impossible on Earth. You can't take your eyes off him. And then Koepka hates him. They have some kind of weird social media feud that we dove into on the last show.
Right.
This happened yesterday, though, and this was a very good Bryson moment. And I heard about it, but I didn't know the circumstances being at work. So actually, the Baron, friend of the program, we saw his man cave earlier, texted me that he broke his driver during the round. And I said, well, because it's him, I have to ask, was he just mad and he just like broke it on the ground or over his knee or something? Like, you usually see guys break clubs. Or did he just hit it so hard that it broke? He told me he broke it on a drive. And I was like, well, that's pretty awesome. I mean,
yeah,
he's a, Central Valley strongman. Bryson, Modesto's favorite son, as we have already discussed.
That's Central Valley strength, baby.
Valley strong. But that's all I could do for the graphics. I wanted to do something, get that Fresno State V on there, but I didn't have time. Press for time. But come to find out, it was much more interesting than that because he actually just leaned on his club and broke it because the boys got meat.
Oh, my God.
Bah! Pop that. Even Fowler is like, dang, what just happened? In the background, he's looking like, dang, you just snapped that head off? And the, not really the walk, but the lean down of shame. Or just like a feat of strength. I don't know.
Right.
I would say also at this point, I'm pretty confident that he does not have abs.
I got some abs.
But despite that was in January, before he tacked on mass.
Look, everybody's got abs. Just some of us, hide them well.
Yeah, we have the muscle. It's in your body. But
it's there. The abs are there. They're just
the question is the definition. So
sure.
At this point, I don't think he's got the D'Angelo, chiseled with the extra
D.
No,
nobody got that.
I would doubt that.
That D'Angelo V is a different Valley strong.
That's a D'Angelo Valley. How does it feel? But like I said, DeChambeau is just a weird dude in general, for one, and kind of fascinating. I don't, you can hate him or love him, but I gotta think it's great for golf. I mean, the casual fans are just gonna be like, "Who is this guy? What's his deal?" Like, I think a lot of people will probably be in the same camp. Like, I kind of like him, I kind of hate him. Like, I don't know, but you can't take your eyes off him. So funny to watch him out there and then mixing it up. I think Koepka took a shot at him a little bit in his post-round interview in front of the podium yesterday. I saw like a snippet of it, but I didn't see the actual clip. But I saw it on social media like, oh, Brooks getting another shot off on DeChambeau.
No, I mean, you are drawn to him, if for no other fact that he, you got to love a guy that, rips it 420 yards off the tee. But then, on top of that, he is like this character. You don't know, you don't know if you like him. He's the guy in the R-rated movie. You're not sure about. You're not sure where he's coming from.
He's a little dangerous. I don't know. Should I get in this car? I don't know.
But either way, whether you like him or not, like you said, you want to watch and see what happens. And the whole Brooks Koepka thing, who's a guy that the average fan might at least know his name, or I should say the average person might at least know his name because he shows up to the majors and cleans up. So I mean, when you got this feud going with a top guy and then this weird character, like it's gonna draw eyes. Like the PGA should definitely be pushing this. Like this, like
I know,
a feud in golf is going to draw eyes every time.
There was a point yesterday, and again, shout out to the Baron. I guess I'll just say, well, maybe him and Scraby could be our resident golf insiders on this program.
Sure.
As far as, well, Scraby, by his own admission, says he doesn't watch golf, which is weird, even though he loves golf and he knows everything about all these guys. Mm-hmm. But Scraby's a weird dude too. But I love you, Scrapes. But the Baron texted me. They were both -4 at one point yesterday. Unfortunately, Bryson dropped a couple strokes, so he was -2, and he was even today, so he's still -2. But there was a chance for a brief moment in time that those two would get grouped up, and we're still waiting. Still just reaching for that rainbow when those two are in a pairing. Can you imagine in a major too? And there's no fans, so everything is mic'd up.
You hear everything, yeah.
Just, I want to see the salt. Like, bring it on.
Yeah, either DeChambeau needs to have an awesome round tomorrow, or maybe Koepka drops a couple strokes. Doesn't have a terrible round, but maybe drops a couple. We could still get that Sunday pairing.
Alas, it was not to be today, but still holding out hope. At some point, just mathematically speaking, I was talking to Tyler before. DeChambeau, he's kind of all over the place because he hits huge drives, but then you never know what he's going to get into, and then he's out of bounds a lot of times because he's just smashing the ball. And then he's fighting with the official about ants or whatever, or cameraman. But he's still, definitely in the top 20, 25 golfers in the world, I would say, at this point. So they are going to get grouped up. And it's going to happen. And it's going to be magical when it does. But, again, alas, today it was not to be. But I am waiting for that to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. They probably should just be finishing up. I know there were still probably like a good dozen people finishing up when we started the show. But I mean, both guys made the cut. So, again, we're hopefully – like I say, if they can get paired up Sunday, again, whether that means, Bryson had an amazing round or Koepka drops a couple strokes, if they can get paired up Sunday, my eyes are glued to that for sure.
We do have a brief aside here. We are making pizzas here tonight at the dojo.
Mm-hmm.
Or, whatever Vic the Brick calls his thing. I think he calls Staples Center the downtown dojo. But he always does the weird Zen thing, so... But we are making pizza here, so I do have the pizza cam. I want to bring that in on the Jupiter Records and Tapes Celebrity Hotline. Jupiter Records and Tapes, 4132 University Avenue. Again, City Heights home for outdated music formats. We now go to the pizza cam, and it looks like they're just getting fired up in there. Or saucing the dough. So we will check back with them. Please stay connected, Pizza Cam. Oh, here comes the cheese. All right. So we will keep you posted on whatever happens with the Pizza Cam. Oh, we got some meat. All right.
There we go. We
will get back to you. Pizza Cam, stay connected, please. But that's, just giving you guys an inside look at what I'm going to be eating later.
Late breaking, folks. Pizza's being made on a Friday night.
That's right. Actually, I have to go back because now the cheese is being sprinkled. Well,
there we go. Okay.
We got a little lag issue.
Make sure you get a nice even spread here.
That is key. And I do apologize if there's any interruptions in the connection because my $6 Ethernet cord from Amazon is having some issues cutting in and out. But we will revisit the Pizza Cam soon. So thank you, Pizza Cam.
Well, I think next we should get into, because I see that we got a couple comments from our boy Jaime here. We could get into the very odd Champions League Friday and Saturday matchups, which, normally those go on Tuesday, Wednesday, midweek. So it's really odd seeing that. But as he says here, City in and Real Madrid out. Gotta be a rough day for Cristiano Ronaldo stands with Real Madrid and Juventus both going out on the same day.
And the ultimate Cristiano Ronaldo stand, Cristiano Ronaldo. Which, I mean,
That's true.
part of,
That's true.
what makes Ronaldo is the outrageous, at times implausible self-belief. I get it. But again, they are out. Juventus out. Real Madrid out. So, going to be interesting. But, yeah, man, Champions League on a weekend, and it's not the final? Yes.
Yeah.
Just hook it to my veins.
Yeah, tomorrow we got, I think they're the last two matches in the round of 16, which is going to be Bayern Munich hosting Chelsea, which that was already a pretty rough draw for Chelsea. I mean, they went down 3-0 in the first leg, but now they're missing like four guys that got injured in the FA Cup. So that's going to be a pretty rough draw. And then the other one is Barcelona is going to be hosting Napoli. They're even 1-1. So as of right now, Barcelona would actually go forward because of the away goal. But who knows what will happen with that one. I mean, I'm like the Bayern Munich Chelsea match lost a little bit of its luster because of all the injuries to Chelsea, but it's Champions League. Who even knows, man? Maybe Mason Mount goes off and gets a brace and helps him get through. I don't know, but no, definitely looking forward to catching some good, some big European football tomorrow.
I'm hoping.
That's right. I said football.
What? That's it. You're off the show. I'm sorry. You're removed. All right, you're back. But it's called soccer. Please.
Also, Jock and Mookie went back to back. By the way.
Hey, let's go.
I just got the notification as I see Sarah commenting on Chris Taylor, which
well,
actually
we'll get into CT3.
We'll get into Chris Taylor in a minute. Actually, let's finish up our soccer talk here.
And I do agree with you, Jaime, that Pep needed the win more than Zidane.
Yes.
I mean, especially the whole thing with Man City has kind of been his one man's quest to prove that he doesn't need Barcelona, one of these like traditional powerhouses. It seems like he's got the chip on his shoulder of, obviously they do have a ton of money. Let's not forget that. But
yes,
it's just like, Man City. Like, I mean, come on. Like, it's not Barcelona. It's not Bayern, Real Madrid, one of these. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm glad to see it get shook up a little bit. I still don't know how I would feel if Man City were to win a Champions League. I'm a little conflicted about that. But football's coming home, baby.
There we go.
I will only say football in that context, by the way. It's coming home. It's coming home.
I think right now my allegiance would probably go with Atletico Madrid. I've always kind of liked them as like that third team in Spain. But, I mean, who even knows? Leon winning would be kind of crazy because they finished like seventh in Ligue 1 this year, something like that. So,
I'm here for the weirdness, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this whole situation, the format, everything is weird. Kind of interesting also that I saw that yesterday Gareth Bale said, I'm not going to travel because, and there's moving parts to this. He's kind of basically like a super sub riding the pine at Real Madrid. And he kind of couched that with, well, I didn't really feel good about the travel, but then also mentioned I didn't think I was going to play. So I'm out.
Look, he had a tee time scheduled. All right. He can't back out of it.
True. You know how hard it is to get on that course in Monaco or wherever he's trying to play?
But, like I said, look forward to Champions League. And actually, in a weird note, while the 2019-2020 Champions League is going on, the 2020-2021 Champions League also starts tomorrow with their like the very first early round, with like the representative from like Gibraltar and like Northern Ireland. They're like
exactly.
all playing each other.
So watch out. There's going to be a team from Cyprus that is going to bust in there and steal everyone's hearts.
And win in the first round and then lose when they actually play somebody.
Well, because maybe their goalie has to go back to his job, driving a taxi or something.
That's true. But so back to Sarah's point on Chris Taylor. I guess we could bring this up, even though I'm sure most of the people watching here are based in San Diego, based off the Quarantine Network's population. But did want to give a shout out to the awesome series. Actually, the Dodgers and the Padres had that really did feel like a playoff series. I know San Diego fans probably don't want to hear this because they still came up just short, but your team is really freaking good, and it's actually kind of nice having these competitive games. But that game that ended on Wednesday, I know we watched a little bit together after our show, and then we were texting back and forth to the end of it. Chris Taylor with that just laser throw to home, getting
Gunned
the final
down
out.
at home plate. Not only
And,
on a line, but just in the exact right, like even the bounce, it just like was right there for the tag. It was just like,
yeah.
And then even my, Padres associates that were either there or working at the radio station, the consensus was that's the most Padres ending of all time. They would do that. And Grisham was like beside himself for some reason, but I'm kind of thinking like, do you need to run into an out right there? Like you were out by like 10 feet. I mean, the throw was great, but also it was kind of like you're really pushing it right now look, we're both Dodger fans, and I'm still a Kenley fan. I'm glad he got his big payday because of what he did before that. Well deserved, but honestly, anything can happen when that fool comes in the game. So, like, I'm
for sure
sweating it out sometimes. He definitely gets roughed up a little bit. And I think you just keep that, extending that inning. Like, you don't try to push it right there. But they did, and Chris Taylor with the hose.
Yeah, and actually, I was texting with a good friend of the show, Jeff Elms, a couple hours ago.
With that ass. Sorry, sir.
Of course. But I was actually texting Jeff before the show, and we both agreed that if that was Yasmani Grandal playing catcher for the Dodgers, he misses that easy throw that Taylor makes, and the Padres probably wind up winning. But no, that was a fantastic series. Obviously, Fernando Tatis had just an absolute bomb
tank
in that last game. That would they measure it at like probably like 450 something, I would guess. Like it was absolutely crushed. I mean, that dude is just. I heard an interesting argument from the guys at Cespedes Family Barbecue, who I highly recommend definitely checking them out. Follow their Twitter, check out their podcast. Amazing baseball analysts. Well, fans more than analysts, but one of them kind of said that he thinks that Fernando Tatis could be this generation's Ken Griffey Jr., which I thought was a interesting argument, but I don't think he's that far off.
I think tool-wise, he has it all. Like, I mean, it's still so early to tell, and I was even, telling this to Callan or, other Padre fans. Like, this dude is legit. He is going to be an MVP candidate for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Small sample size. I think he's going to have to rein it in a little bit as far as like going balls out all the time, because that does lead to injuries. But this guy's a freak. I mean, I've seen him in person. I've talked to him. He's a nice guy, outgoing, but not, like full of himself, anything like that.
No, right.
But I mean, also with the pedigree, his dad, notorious only for that one game, Dodger killer, because he hit 2 grand slams in one inning.
In the same inning.
Tommy Lasorda.
Off the same pitcher, too.
Chan Ho, you're still my boy. But, that was but so he's been around, professional level baseball, kind of seeing what it takes the day in, day out. And this guy's a real deal. I mean, he is unbelievable to watch. He's still, I would say, maybe one of the fastest guys in the major leagues right now. And he's big. Like Billy Hamilton, okay, maybe he's faster in a dead sprint, but it's not really going to put runs up on the board. I mean, steal bases, good defense, but, limited offensively. But Tatis has everything. So, definitely a team to watch out for with the Padres. So do not fret. And he also did hit a home run in the first inning tonight, and they are up 3-0 on the Diamondbacks, who actually wore out the Astros in their last series. So not exactly a walkover, but hey, with this current format where seemingly half the league gets in the playoffs, I would expect the Padres to be in that race right up to the end. So,
and half the league misses half their games too.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if Tatis stays healthy and just kind of, this could be even in a few months from now, honestly, because he's got potential like sky high. I think he is the most important player on that team already, but like even more so than Machado, honestly.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I think the team feeds off of just his youthful exuberance or whatever, and he's wildly, outrageously talented. So that is a bona fide star right there in San Diego.
and he wouldn't grow whatever that facial hair that Machado is trying to do.
Yeah, he would never disrespect. No,
Ooh,
he does
Manny.
the blonde dreads and the
that, but,
crazy Oakley blades that he always is rocking. Much respect and love for Tatis Jr.
No,
couple other
absolutely.
things.
Like he's.
Go ahead.
Go for
Sorry.
it.
No, this is just.
I was just gonna say,
go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just saying. I had commented on something that Callan posted on Facebook the other day. It was like Fernando Tatis. He's super fun. He's super exciting, and I fucking hate it because he's going to be a problem for the Dodgers for years to come. So,
just hopefully, just stay with the Padres. It'd be nice to have a superstar here, but just don't go to the Yankees, please. It would just break my heart.
oh, they've probably already got something written up for 4 years from now when he becomes.
Well,
a
he
free
wouldn't be
agent.
able to do the dreads, I don't think. So that's a hard pass right there.
No, that's true. That's a fair point.
A couple other little fun social media things. As we touched on in Wednesday's episode, the Reds got loose on Cleveland, basically taking a shot that LeBron left it twice, and but then the Indians with a little clapback, boom, with the sweep, and especially with the 13-0 score. That's a
the dominant final game. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was a little fun to see.
Yeah, that's definitely a good clapback, compared to what they had originally set back to them. Something about, I don't know, NBA finals wins or something. I don't know. But no, that's a good clapback. Getting the sweep on the Reds, they got the last laugh on that one.
And then the other thing I saw, this actually comes from another great Twitter follow. I believe it's 2020 Astros Apology Tour, something like that. I can't remember the name.
Tour. Yeah.
But it's basically just, I don't know if it's run by Dodger fans, but quite possibly is. Just roasting the Astros at all times, which I'm in.
Yeah,
and
sure.
They were the first to, or at least that I saw, that pointed out in the front row, you may recognize this man at the Kauffman Stadium there in Kansas City. And if you're not totally sure yet, that is in fact Bernie from
Yes.
Weekend at Bernie's. So always here for cutout trolling. We got our wish of the Mike Brito cutout. There's been some other interesting ones. We saw Chipper Jones get loose on the Mets, and all the other fun things you could do with these cutouts. I mean, probably would say stay away from the sex dolls, but
yeah, maybe not a good look.
Actually, if someone did a cutout of a picture of one of these sex dolls, that would be pretty hilarious. I would be down for that.
Yeah, actually, there was one, and I just told you this like right before we started, so you didn't get a chance to clip it. But I'm pretty sure it was the Royals. Actually, one of their cutouts in their game a couple days ago was the infamous Marlins man, who you can see at every postseason game in the front row. But during the game, you could see somebody that works for the Royals staff had like a giant stick and drop a Royals shirt over his typical Marlins jersey, which I thought was pretty funny.
I don't think anyone really likes Marlins, man, at this point. I like that he went after the Marlins because of the whole offshore accounts and, everything they did to kind of screw the city of Miami for the new stadium. That's weird, and no one still goes, even if you could go. But he's pretty annoying. He just shows up all the time, everywhere in the playoffs. You see him. But I still am kind of in love with the idea that he would just buy a cutout and put himself in every single stadium. Wish he would have done that. He's definitely got the money. But you blew it, Marlins, man. You blew it.
There was another social media one. I don't know if you got the post on this, but you mentioned how the Diamondbacks had lit up the Astros in their most recent series. So there was a good tweet. Did you happen to get the clip of this one?
I didn't, but I am efforting.
Okay.
So set this up, and I'll try to get it.
So in their second game of the series on Tuesday, Lance McCullers was pitching for the Astros at Arizona. And Arizona, for those that don't know, they play in a stadium, but they have a retractable roof. It's actually a pretty amazing roof. You can't hear it when it opens and closes. I've seen it in person. It's pretty impressive. But McCullers breezed through the first 3 innings. The Astros then opened the roof, which they said they were going to do, and it's their home field. They can do whatever they want with it. At which point in time, McCullers got lit up and started complaining, the dry heat, I couldn't lick my fingers, blah, 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 making all kinds of excuses about it. So then the D-backs wound up winning the third game of the season as well, or the series on Wednesday, at which point in time their Twitter account sent out a tweet saying, where'd it go? Sorry. Oh,
roof status closed. Game status
one. Which I'm always appreciating anybody that claps the Astros. I mean, it's bad enough they cheated and gave the fake apologies, but like now they just kind of cry about everything, and it's like you guys are doing yourself zero favors. Like
it just makes it worse. Like no one feels bad for you to begin with, and really, just take it on the chin. Actually apologize. This is going back to like what was or don't, or just go the total opposite, but don't do the wishy-washy like, I guess we're sorry.
Yeah.
Is that good?
I've been handed a statement.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
A prepared statement.
Yeah.
But, so that just doubled down on everyone hating them, which, again, like Tyler said, if they would have just went full heel Hollywood Hogan,
fine.
I will never apologize.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I respect that more. Like,
yes, absolutely.
More than just like, we're just half-hearted. Sorry. But now everyone hates you, and everyone's going to get a shot off on you. So I hate the Diamondbacks too, but not as much as I hate the Astros because of just their, smugness and general disposition.
Actually, your other boys, Oakland, I don't know if it was the A's, but somebody in Oakland got a shot off on them earlier today. During the pregame, because they're up in Oakland right now, somebody on a plane had one of those like signs tailing off the back that said Houston asterisks. So
with a banner behind a plane?
Yeah.
Nice. And shout out to my A's also.
Your boys, they're killing it right now.
Like 6 game winning streak, something like that. And here's the tweet. I was able to grab that.
There we go.
The back and forth about the roof, and I mean that would be. It's fun when you have, having sort of, I didn't work for the actual team, but having some of the control to the social media and you have a chance to actually get a legit, just like lob a volley, like a shot off on someone on the official platform. It's like even more spiteful. So I will say nice job there to the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
All right. Real quick, not a lot going on in the bubble. Whiteside had a pretty good video today. Chef Whiteside. Definitely check that out. And as always, please do follow NBA Bubble Life on Twitter. Just wall to wall. Whatever comes out that's interesting, they will hit you up with that. And I even mentioned to them the other day, I feel like Whiteside's just winning this whole thing right now because he's got the best, most sometimes bizarre, but always entertaining posts. So shout out to Hassan there. I can't not throw it in.
We in that Disney,
We in that Disney, and
gotta play it
every time. I have to. There's no way around it. But did see this. I know we've talked about it earlier on the show, and the Lakers Madden tournament continues.
Mm-hmm.
This came out a little bit smaller than I hoped, but you can see Cook is actually 6-0 in first place in the tournament right now. And right behind him in second place is LeBron, King James, which I'm kind of wondering, at what point do you just let LeBron win to keep team chemistry alive? Because, we are going into the actual playoffs here. I would hate to see it fall apart because of a Madden tournament. But
yeah. And I would say that yesterday's game showed they need LeBron on the court because they did not. Look, as great as AD is, if he doesn't have LeBron out there, he's not making that impact. So you got to have LeBron out there wanting to play.
Yeah. So don't upset LeBron. Try to make it through. But I will, be interested to see what happens with this Madden tournament, because if someone wins and now he's not passing me the ball anymore because I beat him in Madden, like, stay tuned.
Nobody's passing Cook the ball. Cook's not on the court.
He has a lot of time to practice, as Tyler pointed out before the show. He's back in the hotel room just hitting the sticks. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Run it.
Will Smith 2-run home run, by the way.
Hey! And Muncy, as Sarah pointed out earlier.
Hey, Muncy doing something nice.
Monty.
But also, speaking of bubble, I did want to just kind of touch on the NHL playoffs that have been going on. They're actually about to wrap up the first round, and we've had a few upsets. Some of the higher seeds are starting to fall here. Actually, all three of these just happened today, which was the number 11 seed Arizona knocked out the number 6 seed Nashville. The number 12 seed Montreal knocked out the number 5 seed Pittsburgh, and the number 12 seed Chicago knocked out the 5 seed Edmonton, which again means that one of those teams that did really well in the regular season might have the number 1 overall pick because they desperately, need it. So
yeah, exactly.
That's what he wants, I think.
And I did explain to Tyler before we went on the air my conundrum there. And obviously, I'd rather, as pretty much indifferent to Edmonton. I mean, they still have probably the best player in the world right now, and a lot of talent on that team also. But I'd rather see them get the first pick than Pittsburgh if it comes down to that. But
yeah,
do they just pull an Edmonton and blow it and ruin some poor, nice man's career? I don't know. I don't know if I want to see them go through that. I don't want to see another one of these.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it definitely seems like a different regime from the 80s and the 90s. Like, I feel like they've had 4 number 1 picks in the last, 7 years. And I feel like they've all kind of at least been working out well, if not, doing extremely well. So I do think it is a little bit, maybe the tides are turning in Edmonton. But if the number 1 pick goes to Pittsburgh, oh, God, I would be so mad about that.
I'd be upset. Please. I think most people that follow hockey would be upset. Enough is enough, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. You know what? Have Nashville get the number 1 pick. I have no beef with Nashville. That I would be, even though I think it's stupid that any team in the playoffs could get the number 1 pick. Give it to Nashville. I don't even care. Fine, give it to them.
I'm sorry, I can't resist the opportunity to make a joke at their expense, though. Would they hang a banner just for getting the number 1 pick?
Fair.
Could happen.
Fair.
It's a land of banners just flying free, apparently. And also, shout out to Callan, who brought this to my attention the other day. NHL having a decent time, successful in the bubble. We're not seeing big outbreaks or anything like that, just like the NBA has been doing. But, trying to make the most of it. We talked about the one hat being thrown on the ice the other night at the Rogers Center. And this was also on the Jumbotron. At the conclusion of tonight's game, please exit your couch safely. So they're doing what they can. They're making it entertaining. And we've been seeing some good games and, like Tyler said, some upsets. So far, so good. I say keep it rolling.
Yeah, well, I mean, upsets, that's, that the Stanley Cup playoffs are want to do. I mean, it's just...
Even in normal times.
I feel like... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the NHL playoffs, more than anything, is just like, who is the hot team? And you see this every year. It seems like a 7 or an 8 seed just gets on this crazy run and, makes the conference finals or something like that. So keeping it interesting. But yeah, definitely looking forward to more of the NHL playoffs going forward here.
All right, and then real quick, we're gonna hop over to this weekend's UFC event. Not a big prestigious card, but one of our personal favorites, featuring in the main event, which we will touch on. I do want to touch back in with the pizza cam. Looks like we've got some dough there. And potentially some copyrighted music, so I'm going to have to cut this off. But, that's where we're sitting right now with the Pizza Cam. Thank you again, Pizza Cam, for all you do. So, without further ado, I'm going to defer at this moment to the Fight Doctor. We do have a UFC event, a fight night this weekend, so let's fire it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The heavyweight champion of the world.
One of the best Raekwon Ghostface duets ever.
So good.
So take us through it, Fight Doctor. What are you seeing this weekend?
Yeah, so as Ronnie said, we got a fight night card. It'll be on ESPN Plus this weekend. Up and down the card, kind of looking into it. There's some names I'm not very familiar with, but kind of looking into look into their history and everything, it's not the most exciting card on paper. There's not too much that really jumped out on me. I mean, I'd be more than happy to be to be proven wrong and show me again. And I've said it in the past. Sometimes these cards with the guys that you don't know turn out to be very exciting because they're just young and hungry and go for it. But definitely, kind of the two that stuck out to me are the main event and the co-main event. I'll just real quickly touch on the co-main event because I know Ronnie will want to get a little bit more into one of the main event fighters here. But in the co-main event, we got former middleweight champion Chris Weidman taking on Omari Akhmedov. Weidman, of course, best known for being the guy that dethroned the reign of Anderson Silva.
Sometime you win, sometime no win.
Exactly. He went on a 2-year run where he was just a dominant champion, just kind of beating everybody in the middleweight division. In fact, Ronnie, you and I were at I think it was the last fight that we saw at Tiki's when Weidman and Silva had their rematch, and Silva got his leg broken, which was the quickest.
R.I.P. to his leg, but also R.I.P. to Tiki. That was my place in Corona.
Tiki's was the best.
That damn 91 widening project took it out.
I've never heard a bar go so instantly quiet as to when everybody realized what happened to Silva's leg. But Weidman, since he lost the title, man, he's really been struggling. I know he's lost 5 of his last 6 fights, all by either knockout or TKO. So he's kind of looking to bounce back. And then we got Akhmedov coming in, who's an up-and-coming fighter out of Dagestan. He's actually 5-0-1 in his last 6 fights. It's going to be kind of an interesting mix of kind of your standard collegiate style wrestling against this new modern Dagestan, push him up against the wall, and maul him in that sense. So it's going to be a wrestling battle. For those that don't like wrestling, you may not find it exciting. I already know I'll probably love this fight. I gotta give it to Akhmedov for entertainment purposes only.
Of course.
Especially because Weidman has previously said that he was having issues. The weight cut to middleweight was becoming more and more difficult. He decided to go up to light heavyweight for one bout, got knocked out. Now he's going back to middleweight, which he did make the cut, but he obviously in the past he's indicated that's had an issue with him. So I like Akhmedov in this one. I don't know how much more Weidman has. But we'll see. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I really like Akhmedov in this one. And of course, the main event, which Ronnie has been queuing up here, we got Derek Lewis and Alexei Oleinik in a heavyweight battle. Derek Lewis, who is not only an exciting fighter but an exciting interview, as I'm sure Ronnie's got many clips queued up for us here.
Just an entertaining guy in general, by the way. Actually,
yeah,
for sure, 1,000%. I mean, I've heard multiple people, Joe Rogan on his podcast, on his social media, follow at the Beast UFC on Instagram.
Yes.
Not even for the fight stuff. He just posts like random, I wouldn't even say they're memes, just like videos of the most like dumbest, worst things, best things on the internet all the time. Wildly entertaining as he is. But I've just always been a Derek Lewis fan, and he has given us many gems in post-fight, pre-fight interviews throughout the years. Of course, let's never forget. And he has merchandised 2 of these, which I will point out.
My balls was hot.
The notorious "My balls was hot" when Joe Rogan asked him why he took his shorts off. His balls were hot. I mean, hey, we've been there.
That's it, yeah.
And in that same interview, there's a big build-up to this with, alleging that he got a call from Trump saying he had to knock him out because Russia was making Putin and shit for making him look bad on the news. And then he hit him with another now T-shirt that you can buy.
Fuck what they talking about. USA in his hoe.
USA in his hoe. And a couple other gems from the Beast, Derek Lewis. This was the fight up in Canada a couple of years ago.
What hurt when he kicked you? And obviously it hurt pretty bad. I mean, it
was more of I'm just trying not to shit on myself, because I'm holding my gas in and trying to breathe at the same time. I just didn't want to shit in front of national TV.
How do you not love Derek Lewis? Yeah,
look, who can blame him?
National TV.
I wake up every day and that's just don't let me shit on national TV. That's all I want through the day.
Dusty Rhodes knew about it. He had the muffler. I mean, it's a real thing. you don't want to embarrass yourself out there in front of a bunch of people, and let alone on TV, please.
Big Johnny,
And
my
then-
mother fell out.
Oh, it's another classic one. And the last one I have for you from D. Lewis, this was actually from, I think it was when they were still on Fox doing the fight nights. And it was like a pre-fight. I don't think he was fighting that weekend, but they just had him for a sit-down interview. And the host asked him, you get so ramped up, and the way you fight, you pretty much just fight till you gas out no matter what, win or lose. But then whenever we have you on these interview things, you're really calm. How do you flip that switch? And this was his answer.
Most of the time, I'm high as hell.
Most of the time, I'm high as hell.
Hey, there you go, man. There
So
you go.
that's our guy. That's America's sweetheart, Derek Lewis.
Sure.
And I mean, just in general, I think what I like the most about him, he's not, definitely not like a top guy as far as in that division, or, he's pretty much just, I wouldn't say a journeyman, but he is what he is. He has knockout power. I mean, you've seen him come from behind sometimes and just lay someone out with one punch where he was probably losing. But I just think he's one of the realest guys in UFC, because I've seen him even after fights where he won. First of all, I thought I sucked tonight. I'm sorry for you guys. He just lays it out there. And I've also heard him just in general talking about the fight game. We've talked about it a lot on this show. See so many guys and girls hang on too long. It's the only thing they know how to do. You don't want to see, again, how we feel about this Tyson Roy Jones fight coming up. It's yes, I'm going to watch it, but I don't know if it needs to happen. But Holyfield just around forever. It's just I don't want to see you go out this way. And he's very candid about that. He's look, honestly, I don't want to do it forever, but this is how I make money, so I'm going to go do it. And I've heard him say that in multiple interviews and articles and things like that. So he just seems like a real dude. And just someone you can get behind, because I mean, like I said, he's won some fights where he had no business winning. He just knocked the guy out. It was just reached back and just caught him. So much love to Derek Lewis. Again, possibly my favorite fighter in the UFC.
Yeah, he's. I mean, you talk about the knockout power. He's actually this fight. It's possible that he will set the record for most knockouts in the heavyweight division in the UFC right now. He's tied with Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos. They all have 10 knockouts in heavyweight fights. Lewis, for his career, he's got 18 knockouts out of 23 wins. But Alexei Oleinik, you want a real journeyman. This guy's got 800 fights in his career. He's got 59 wins, 46 of them by submission. So, it's definitely a real stylistic matchup of, the striker versus the ground guy. Although Oleinik doesn't mind standing up. I mean, his last fight he had a couple months ago against Fabricio Verdum, a lot of it was on the ground, and Oleinik managed to get the split decision victory there. I would say if I had to pick this one, I'm gonna go with my heart. I'll go with Lewis. My brain,
Champ.
My brain kicks back and forth between the two, because it's Lewis could end it so quickly. But Oleinik is also just such a to say veteran is a disservice to how long he's been fighting for.
He's a professional. Let's say that. This guy's been through the wars.
His first fights were back in 96, 97. This dude's been around forever. But I will go with Lewis again for entertainment purposes only. If you want to gamble on that, I think he is a slight favorite. It's actually fairly close in the odds. But I'm looking forward to that one. I mean, Lewis, again, always entertaining. Whether it's in the ring, he's actually entertaining. On the mic, he's entertaining. It's a hard guy to root against. So definitely looking forward to his fight. Have a little bit more recap of at least the main card fights come Monday. Hopefully I get proved wrong. Hopefully it turns out to be a fun card with just a bunch of up and comers trying to make their name. And actually, it's really funny. Lewis, you are right in the sense that he's not a top guy. The heavyweight division is kind of dominated by three people right now. But realistically, Lewis, I mean, he could kind of be the next guy up after Ngannou if he wins this fight, just because it's such a cluster in that next section. You got your top three guys in the upper echelon, and then just a bunch of randomness. So, I mean, Lewis will he'll be looking to keep his name in a title picture, at least maybe insert his name in a future title picture. So, for actually that right alone just convinced me that I actually really want to pull for him, just to see if maybe he can get that title shot later on.
And a couple other things, just real quick on Lewis. To what you just said, he's been around for a while, like a long time,
Yeah.
and he still like hovers like he could be that next guy up.
Sure.
So he's been competitive, like no doubt about that. Like just never like quite over the top, and then there's always going to be like one or two, or like in this case, probably three guys, like a roadblock of just like studs that are
You got your
locking
Stipe,
it down.
Stipe, Cormier, and Ngannou. Although he has a win over Ngannou, surprisingly. So,
but the thing with him too is, and this is probably sort of a good and bad thing, even in fights where it wasn't like he just totally came out of nowhere and just knocked someone out, it's always been conditioning with him.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like he looks totally gassed out, even if he seemingly won easily or not. And in a lot of, like we were just playing clips from his post fights, many times he has said, "No, I'm going to go home and rest. Like I'm not even ready." Like in that Joe Rogan one, he's like, "I'm going to go sit my ass down. Not ready for any title fight." He did the she.
He pulled the Clay Davis.
He always another one of his favorites is "fuck what you talking about." I've seen him do that to the crowd, even. The crowd booed. Like, fuck what you talking about. You don't know about these Texas boys?
Yeah, that dude, he's so entertaining. So I would definitely say, if you're gonna,
Sorry, we got the ant video coming in there.
so yeah, if you're gonna watch any fight on that card, definitely check out the main event, Derek Lewis. I think it's gonna be an entertaining fight.
Yeah, I'm going to do whatever I can to bootleg that thing because I don't have ESPN Plus anymore. But Derek Lewis, if you're not a fan, become a fan. That's our guy.
Yeah.
My balls was hot.
And a couple reactions pouring in for Derek Lewis here as we have Jaime throwing up the horns and Sarah, OMG. Yes, Derek Lewis. He is that man. That's our guy.
Yep. But I guess just one last thing before we sign off here. Did want to also bring up, since we are the NASCAR show of record on the Quarantine Network, we actually got back-to-back races this weekend. We got Saturday and Sunday, both 400-mile races from Michigan International Speedway. After this, I think it's only 4 races until the playoffs. So those start at the beginning of next month. So things are winding up. Some guys are going to start taking some shots to try and get those qualifying spots. So I think it could be a pretty exciting race.
And the last time we saw the back-to-back Cup races in the same weekend, Harvick Hamlin, but yeah, like the cars that were strong on the first day, just were right there again on the second day. So be interested to see if that happens again. But yeah, definitely nice to have. They had like I guess in the context of their reopened schedule, sort of a long break for them between Cup races,
something like that.
Yeah, when they were like packing them in at the beginning, but yeah, I mean they're still trying to pan out the schedule, so I will be catching as much of both of those as I can. But again, great weekend for sports. Watch the major, watch the PGA Championship, 2 Cup races, UFC on Saturday. Not the biggest card in the world, but Derek Lewis is there, so I'm in. And of course, baseball, basketball, hockey. I mean, what else do you want? Champions League, please.
Champions League, baby. Yep.
That's all I got. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I apologize for starting a couple minutes late. I was trying to get this stuff together. Just got out of work a little bit late. But thank you guys, as always, for watching. We have sailed past the 10,000 view mark. So keep commenting, keep calling, watching. However you can support the show, we definitely appreciate it. Tyler, you got anything else before we get into this great sports weekend?
Oh, man, just stick around. We got the Book Club for TV coming up right about now. Patrice hosting that, so definitely check that out, as well as all the entertaining stuff we have here on the Quarantine Network. But other than that, guys, like Jaime says, as always, keep the fire.
Keep the fire, baby.
At the buzzer.